Greetings. I am CrossKnights, and this is presumably the last episode of Bioshock Burial at Sea, Episode 2, but it's really like Part 8, way longer than I thought it was going to be. What the hell? What's that glowing thing? I need it. Well, there's an invisible wall here. Basically, Atlas betrayed me, as everyone said that he would, including Elizabeth, but she didn't actually have anything prepared to deal with that. So now we're going to steal the ace in the hole. We don't know what that is, but we're going to give it to Atlas to get Sally. I'm not exactly sure why Elizabeth thinks he's going to hold up the end of the bargain this time, so hopefully she actually has a plan to deal with that, but hey. Plasma shortage of looms and Congo. Hello? Guess we're not talking. Oh. Guess you're also not the person who's supposed to be working here. Looks like you gave him some permanent time off. Ooh. Yeah, the launching drill. Yeah, Suzhong made the Big Daddies, right? Was that it? It wasn't Tannenbaum? Like Tannenbaum was all about the little sisters? I think. Oh my. That drill has seen some heavy use. Imprinting solutions not found in genetics. Well, why the hell did you want my hair then? And were the vital chambers not actually standard until the game started? Ah. And they only were tuned to Andrew Ryan's DNA.
Alright. Let's see here what we could do.
Mr. Monster's mean. Scary. Stay away from him. He's scary.
Look, it's okay. He can't hurt anyone.
Scary.
Shh. Shh. Can you move? Can you just move a little bit for me? I don't know how to help you. I don't.
Scary.
No, he's just hurt. He just needs somebody to figure out how to fix him. Maybe there's some, I don't know. Is there some documentation for him around here or something? Right. Look who I'm asking.
Yeah, you at least could have said, is there some papers or drawings about him? Find a way to repair the Big Daddy. Well, I saw a bunch of weird liquids. We could give him some liquids. Maybe he's dehydrated. Ah, it's glowing now.
Huh. Encoded. Big Daddy will not imprint. If not imprint, what good is he to little sister? She no like him. He no like her. Situation is impasse. Unacceptable.
Wait, is the ace in the hole the main character from Bioshock? That would make sense. Just speculating. So we really don't know what the... Because that was Atlas's ace in the hole, right? Was you.
Suchong? What the hell were you thinking? Drinkable plasmids? We're burning through 10 times the amount of atom compared to the injectables. And if you fail to notice, them sea slugs ain't exactly growing on trees. Switch back to the injectables and let the eggheads in marketing worry about selling it to the chumps.
Yeah, he got the idea for the drinkable plasmas from Columbia. Printed solution not found in genetics.
If stupid beasts had half brain, they would realize they need little sister to live. Sisters secrete only kind of atom that is genetic match for them. No little sister, no big daddy.
Alright, I'm not quite sure how that information is going to help her fix it, but I guess we'll see in a second.
Scary, 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 scary.
I've got to do something.
Yeah, chill, Marcia.
Big monster sick. Big monster
It's okay.
sick.
It's okay, please. I don't know how to help him. He needs Adam. I don't have any of that. I don't know what to
Monster's
do.
going to die. Not fair. We can help. Help.
They learned this from Columbia, too. This is how Elizabeth kind of imprinted herself on the bird. Helped it when it was wounded.
Lion with the thorn in its paw.
Forgot that they kind of sounded like whales. You know, people who spend a lot of money in mobile games. Oh, I thought something was coming for me. One of conversions is subject to undergo a series of reconditioning therapies. See, isn't that the main character from the first game? Note all therapies have been outlined in a notebook. Strict guidelines have been provided. Yeah.
Is that your puppy? She's very pretty.
Thank you, Papa Sushong.
We don't need any of that. Suffice it to say, he did it. Yeah, they're talking about the main character now. What was his name, John or something?
Suchong, of all the things I know this. It is in your power to be a different man. What can Ryan take from us that we have not already sacrificed at the altar of discovery? They are children, little sisters, and yes, they will forget. But you and I won't. The memories of what we have done fade only with the dimming of all lights. Tenenbaum.
Some very detailed food right there.
Clinical trial. Protector system. Plasmidimos 255. Dr. Suchong. Client Ryan Industries. Very frustrating day. I can't seem to get the damn big daddies to imprint on the little brats. The protection bondage is just another forming. Get away. Maybe if I modify the genetic sequence to... sequence to allow for... Get away, you fitty little shit!
Oh, snap.
What? What are you doing? Get back! Get back!
Deserved. Oh, crap. But I don't deserve it. I'm cool, right? Yeah, alright, thank God. I'm pretty sure that was, they're not called voxophones, the audio logs. I'm pretty sure you hear that in the first game. You hear this event happening.
There's the ace.
Yup, I was right.
This is it. This is the ace in the hole. All the pain and all of the death for this.
Well, I don't think we should give it to him. But we're going to give it to him. Because we've already given it to him. Enter wall? Oh, well, I don't think there's any secrets here. I should just do it. The Gatherer's Garden.
Hey, sister. Over here. Do you have it?
I have it.
Give it over then. I'm keen to get this brat off me hands.
You know what? Andrew Ryan said I was a rube. But he was wrong. I'm not the rube, Atlas. You are. We both know what happens next. Just get it over with.
Well, love, if you insist. What is this? It's just a bunch of gibberish. What does this say, you little whore? Hey! What does this say?
It says... Would you kindly...
We've got the activation phrase. Now all we've got to do is get that genetic freak of nature on an airplane and Rapture's ours. Yeah!
I chose Rapture.
There is the lollipop. I'll go there soon with Mr. Bubbles, and we'll search the place for
A man chooses, a slave obeys.
They say to save one life is to save the world entire. It is you who are their savior.
You get away! Then
You little nothing!
I can see all the doors. And what's behind all the doors. And behind one of them, incredibly, I see him.
elle m'avoue dans ses bras. Elle me voit là tout bas. Je vois la vie en rosa. Il m'a dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours. Et ça me fait quelque chose.
Il est entré dans mon cœur une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause. C'est lui pour moi, moi pour lui dans la vie. Il me l'a dit, l'a juré pour la vie.
Alright. And that is that. I don't know entirely how I feel about this. I certainly liked part 1 better. I think that was a much more impactful conclusion. Because, like, what the hell were you doing, Elizabeth? In a way, like, you shouldn't have meddled. In fact, no, like, God. Because obviously the events of Bioshock 1 definitely led to a better outcome for the Little Sisters. They led for a bad outcome for virtually everyone else involved. Maybe not Tannenbaum. Hundreds dead. I've been dancing around it. New Year's Eve is the day that Rapture fell. That's the day that the Splicers took over, killed everyone who wasn't, who basically wasn't one of them. I'm assuming other people probably started splicing up and becoming Splicers. It was chaos. It was the fall of Rapture happened that day, and I'm the one that helped Atlas come back to power, apparently. But that's the whole thing. This entire game was just like, isn't it cool that Elizabeth was actually responsible for a lot of the stuff that happened in Bioshock 1? And, like, is that really needed? I don't really... Is it really needed in general, I think? I don't know, because so, like, the first game came back to Rapture, cool. Or the first part of Burial Sea comes back to Rapture, and that's cool. But it was really more of just a scene change for a continuation of Bioshock Infinite's story. This was more like, let's take a little look around the story that we already heard and recontextualize things from the original Bioshock, which I think is already like a fine place in isolation. All right, let me see what this is.
See the pyramids along the Nile. Watch the sunrise from a tropic isle. Just remember to your home again. You belong to me.
Great.
Yeah?
I think you got it.
Can I clap?
I don't know if I need to show all of that. Was that a song that I missed in game? Because I don't remember hearing that anywhere. Yeah, okay, so I liked part 1 better, I guess is what I'm gonna say. Also, so I looked it up while she was singing. There's definitely no multiple endings. I could have just been killing people the entire time, which is a bit sad just because that means I, like, restricted myself. I did kind of have fun being a self-assassin, though. I liked that it pushed me to use a mechanic that was not available for me in the other game, and, well, I don't know what the ending could have been, though, because they had a very set vision for this story. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I got through the whole game without killing anyone. I could have tried to save some of Atlas's men, I guess, when the Splicers attacked, but beyond that, you know. Never messed with the Big Daddy, never, I think I knocked out everyone. Didn't kill any of the Vox. So, I don't know, I had been thinking, like, man, they could have just kept on making episodes of this, but maybe not. I don't know if this is where they brought that. But I did enjoy playing it. And I get, this is a video game, you know, the story is the story. But the issue I had with Infinite is that, like, I did enjoy playing it sometimes, but at the end, like, the combat was just so much less satisfying than pretty much anything I experienced, like, most of the things I experienced in this DLC. But, like, the Burial at Sea Episode 1, I liked the story, and I liked the gameplay, and it was quick, and it was snappy. They had a lot of cool environmental design, which I think is where Bioshock shines the strongest, is this environmental design and artwork. Yeah, good experience. But the second one, like, I don't know. I mean, and I'm sad Elizabeth is dead, I guess. Like, because I don't get what your plan was, man. I don't get... You really just walked into it. I thought there was going to be some type of other realization or reason that she lost the powers, or, you know... But no, she really just is just like, I screwed up and I have to correct the mistake, and she died for it. Which is okay, but, like, obviously that's not... I don't think that's what any of us wanted for her after spending her entire life imprisoned, right? She went to get revenge and realized it was wrong and then went back to save a single girl. And yeah, she saved him. I guess. She also... I think at some point knew... I mean, this is the reason she gave it to Atlas, I guess. I guess she knew that the main character was going to take the whole thing down, and all the little sisters would be saved. But that's the recontextualization. Now they're making it Elizabeth did all this. It wasn't like set up by Tannenbaum, you know. I mean, Tannenbaum helped also, but... I don't know. I feel a little bit lukewarm to it, to be honest. But overall positive experience. It doesn't make sense narratively, but my brain-wise, I wish the impact of the... I wish I'd feel a lot better now if I had played Elizabeth's story, and then I played Comstock's story. And it doesn't make sense because of how they did it, but what if it did? What if, you know, if we had the wrap-up to Bioshock Infinite be the last thing I experienced instead of, like, the recontextualization of the first one? Yeah, I think I'd feel different. I think I'd feel more positive about it. But that's that. There's not really anything left. The other DLC is called the Clash in the Clouds. It's just fighting. And it's not fighting in the cool Bioshock DLC sense. It's fighting in the Bioshock Infinite sense. And since I'm already not amazing at the combat, I didn't really stay interested around. I do like that you kind of gain upgrades and you keep them. So you can get more and more powerful as you go. But it's just not enough, man. Like, it just isn't enough to keep me interested at all. But for people who actually like the combat, I bet some of them spent hours on this. Hopefully not just to, like, 100% the game, because there's some ridiculous achievements. Like, if it had, like, cool setup situations, or like, closed-in corridors, like, you know, I might have more interest in it, but... Nah. I don't think I even need to show anything. It's a shorter episode. I don't know, I guess I also feel, like, physically sad just because of what happens to Elizabeth, you know? I cared about the character. That really sucks that her fate is just to bleed out because she got hit by a pipe wrench on top of a tower as Atlas goes and destroys Rapture. Like, that sucks. The Latesses did warn you. Ryan warned you. It's like seeing Isaac Newton burn to death in a house fire, trying to vainly save his family cat. But you know what? Isaac saved that cat. Yeah, he burned up in the house, but he saved the damn cat. So the video's only 22 minutes. I guess I got a little bit more. This is recorded like a few weeks after I recorded, because I recorded this all like at once. I just had more to say now that I processed it. I think I actually waited a little bit too long, though, because now it's been so long since I've played, like, all the emotions are gone. I haven't really thought about Elizabeth as much. The main thing that sticks with me is the retcon with the Vox Populi, and I understand it a little bit more now, and in a way, I get why it happened initially a little bit more, but also, I hate it more. So, initially, the game of Bioshock Infinite looked a lot different. I'm gonna post a link to a preview video that Drake showed me. The game would have been better. And the Vox Populi are a remnant that I think was improperly ported into what they wanted to do with this game. And they really just stumbled. I really don't think they knew what they were doing with the implication of painting, like, what essentially became a slave uprising that negatively. Because before, it really wasn't a slave uprising. They were kind of like a militia group, but they were roughing people up, you know? They were not in any way, like, seen as positive. They were basically just one of the factions. There was two factions warring at each other from the beginning. It wasn't just like, there's nothing, we're all slaves, and now we're pouncing and we're taking down the society. I would hope that had they gone with that, there would be more... Oh, God, it's Ken Levine, though. I don't know if he does nuance very well, but, like, I would hope that there would be more nuance to differentiate it from what it ended up with. So, and in order to do that, they would have needed to make the Vox seem like it was more about violence than liberation, like, under the guise of liberation, but it's more about violence. And they would have needed to lean less into how evil Comstock and his side are, because in this game they leaned so heavy. Like, I was uncomfortable those first few episodes where it was just like insanely racist rants from Comstock were all you're listening to for like the first 2 hours of the game. The first time that you realize that there's like rot in this society is because a biracial couple is together. Like, that's what we're fighting against. And then you're gonna say, well, all right, but the other side's evil too. Like, well, you can't do that. Because when you still want to make your two sides argument and you've started there, well, then you need to make your civil rights leader someone who smears blood on their face and cackles as they're about to stab a child to death that didn't do anything. That's how far they had to go to the other side. Like, I really think this was a case of old story ideas awkwardly stumbling back into what ended up being presented instead of just, like, doing more of a clean slate, which I think they should have done. I think they needed to patch the two versions together a lot more artfully than they did. So when they realized that, and they put in that retcon where they made Daisy Fitzroy a more well-rounded character, one that realized that revolution needed to happen, but she realized the destruction and the innocence that could be caught up in it. The fact that violence could be perpetuated by taking down a people that were in a position of strength and putting them in a position of weakness. Just at least thinking about that. Knowing that she had to do it anyway, but at least thinking about that. That should have been in the original game, but that's the thing. In their mind, she wasn't nuanced. They made that nuance later. I absolutely refuse to believe that this was ever part of the plan. It doesn't make any sense. And it actively makes the Lutessas, instead of seeing like multi-dimensional tricksters, like masters of everything, seem kind of stupid, because that was the most idiotic plan that I have ever heard. First of all, we're going to sacrifice someone. It has to be the leader of the slave rebellion for some reason. Okay. That wasn't the extent to the damage that they caused by doing that. Not only is Daisy killed here, but in order to do that, Daisy makes Booker an enemy when he would have been an ally. If she had said, screw you, Lutessas, I'm not doing that, and an alternate dimension Booker shows up, and she went to him and being like, you're Booker. I know you're not our Booker, but you want to help us take down Comstock? They would have done it, right? Instead, they made Booker an enemy, and I killed dozens, if not hundreds, of her people in the Vox Populi. That is what was sacrificed. That is what was sacrificed for this plan, just to get Elizabeth to kill someone. And you're going to tell me that there was no other way to do that in all of the universe. There was no other universe to see that Elizabeth had the killer instinct, which, to be honest, was there any implication that if she hadn't killed Daisy Fitzroy, that she would not have the strength to kill the Bookers and the Comstocks, especially when she made Booker himself realize that he needed to kill the Comstocks? She wouldn't have reached that conclusion? I don't believe you. You could have cut that entire thing out. And I think it just goes to the fact that it was this vestigial leftover from their old plan for the game that just didn't really fit in anymore, and they wanted to fit it in. They had the assets, they wanted to cram them in there. So I think that's what happened. I wish, honestly, they had just left well enough alone and not made the Lutessa's last scene them making the stupidest plan that I've ever heard in my life. Because the Lutessas, they are my favorite characters. I love them. I love the way that they're portrayed. They're great. But then they did this. The other thing is that the original game looked way more like Bioshock and what the DLCs was. There was manipulating, there was one where, like, you would use your power to, like, move those, like, on the sky rail, there'd be like freight boxes. You'd move them into people and like slam them out of the way. You could slam them to people that were on the sky rail. There was way more Bioshock, like, there's an oil spill, now it's on fire. Whereas instead in the game that we got, that was another vestigial thing. They're like, look, you can make oil here on this tiny, like, 10-foot block. And then if the enemy happens to stand on it, they'll light on fire. Will they stand on it? No, because they saw you from 10 miles away and now they're shooting at you and they move slightly to the left. So yeah, I'm going to believe my past self that this was an overall positive experience, but there's the experience that you have when playing the game and the heightened emotions, and then there's how you feel after it, and I guess I feel a little bit cold to the second part. The first part of Bioshock, Burial at Sea, is still good. That was like, what, an hour of gameplay, an hour and a half, and it was so good. If they just hadn't made Burial at Sea Part 2, this would have been such a great way to just end with a bang, man. Just, Elizabeth is just like, I see you, random Comstock that just tried to chill over there. Die. That would have been a fine final note. It would have been a really powerful final note. And then you even would have had questions about Elizabeth. You would have been like, is she gonna Is she just going to be like this multiversal cosmic assassin now? Is that eventually going to twist her? Is she going to become so obsessed with revenge? Which, that would have been an interesting way to put it, but instead that's not... Instead, we got answers, and the answers aren't as good as the ones that are in my head. Anyway, I hope I'm not too down on this. I know that there are people that really like this game. A lot of them probably left already once I started being critical of it, but a lot of this was a blind reaction. This is my nuanced thought of it reaction. And yeah, I wish they had stopped at part 1, or at least made something of the heights of part 1, but they just didn't. They relied too much on the original that wasn't really part of Bioshock Infinite to wrap up Elizabeth's story that I don't think needed to be wrapped up, and I definitely don't like it that it was wrapped up in this way. Also, if they're gonna let you play as Elizabeth, don't take her powers away, you cowards. Because this game would have been absolutely amazing if they made some type of terror system. I think I would have loved it. I lament the fact that I turned it into a stealth game, just because I could have done... I think it would have been more fun for me if I hadn't. But I thought that maybe there'd be a different ending, because I kind of implied it, but there's absolutely nothing like that. Obviously, what would the ending be? All right, well, now I've rambled on for 8 minutes. Hopefully I'm editing some of that out. But that is it. That is Bioshock. There will be no more Bioshock. I actually just found out there was going to be a Bioshock 4. That got scrapped. That wasn't going to involve Ken Levine. I really wonder what that would have been. Ken Levine is working on Judas. It is a game that I was kind of excited about, and I'm like a little bit less excited after playing this, because I'm realizing he rewrites this same like political drama over and over again, even with System Shock, because I saw a System Shock video. I'm like, oh god, he's doing it again. He just did it again. So, but, I don't know. Based on what it's described, essentially like a Bioshock roguelike, I mean, it sounds pretty cool. So... that's that. For like the 50 or so people who like watched all the way through, I greatly appreciate you. This was an interesting journey going back. I'm glad I did it. And I look forward to seeing you guys in whatever comes next. So, once again, thank you very much for watching. Thank you, as always, to my lovely patrons. And I will see you guys next time in whatever the hell I'm doing. Later.